Let's see if this is working. Facebook's on, YouTube's on, Twitch is on. Okay, let's give it a minute for people to trickle in as I try to remember what the heck I was working on. Alright, so we're still working on this pull request. Alright, my audio equipment actually broke on me. So I was using this really awesome device, this Zoom H6, as a USB interface. But just randomly, the USB port just stopped working, it seems. It was charging, but none of my computers were recognizing the device. So I'm going to, like, Scarlet, I forget what it's called, actually. But it took a while to come in the mail, so it's been a while since we last streamed, but that's alright. We're back at it. Picking up right where we left off, which I honestly don't remember where that is, so give me a minute to recollect myself. We did that. Add the time selector. Yeah, this is what we were working on, I think. Adding the time selector to the pod form. Because remember, you always want to leave like stuff unfinished to help you gain context. I'm really glad it did that now. So it looks takes a user ID, a value, on change, start time, end time, and time range options. Okay, yeah, now I'm remembering what I was doing. So how does this work? If I go to pods, time, I'll add some. So we want to add some for, say good. So I think this is working. Let's just refresh the page to make. Okay, their options are still there. So we should be able to edit them now. So I should be able to come in here and say, oh yeah, okay. So now I remember what I was going to do next. So now that we have this user avatars and handle delete time. Yeah, so we can delete them. If I save this, I think that'll delete the time range. Why is this not sent by ID? Get pods. Let's see if the time range info. Time range info. Start and end. So we should probably fix this before we update the pure component. Because this will be confusing to test. A new event. One that has no pods. So let's do this one. San Francisco. See the pod. Oh, there. We see our 3 times. So I think that's like one in this option. Like delete them from here. So we're gonna have to fix that. Like I shouldn't be able to click save right now until I click this save. Let's go back to our plan here. So we're here now. We added the time selector to the pod form, but we need to modify the component to. So let me commit what we currently have. Current user on pod params changed. Yep. Loading get pod by where's this? Oh, I never defined this. So that should be coming from, wait, what is this component doing? This is the actual pod form. So pod params, set pod params, pod GraphQL. Oh, okay, create pod, update pod loading, get event by ID loading. So this should be down here, get pod ID, and then get event by ID. Loading is the use query. So where are we loading the pod by ID? Get pod by ID. Yeah, who's calling this? Okay. What's this rendering? Let's do this. Search. No. This is the users list in the pod list. I'm getting confused. Let's close this. pod times. Oh, wait a minute. At this point, the pod has already been loaded. See my pod. All right, let's commit that form. Pod form hooks. Time. Get time option. So there's 3 time options. There's custom, enable planning, and use event time. Oh, right. Okay. So there's still some other work to be done. We have to make sure that the time is within the event's start and end time. Yeah. So we're going to copy our commit message. Sure. Oh, yeah, I think this was a bug. Yeah, let's fix that now. Let's go to add to calendar. All right, so let's figure out what's going on there. Okay, event time. Let's see. Yeah, see the time range options are. Oh, yeah. Use event time. Here. So we should these. So maybe the custom start and end time to be let me think. Time. They can't like do this. They can't go back and still see everyone's, like if there's 10 people anyways, right? So we have to do this anyway. But if we say use event time, it's gonna be helpful. Let's say the status can just be planning, even if it's curious. Attending means you committed. You are going to attend as soon as the time option is set. Yeah, but that's kind of a cop-out because then everyone's just going to default to planning because then they can avoid spending reputation on the time range options. Like basically we have to save time option. We can't use it. You can't make it implicit. So we're going to have to add a time option field to the pod, right? Just like dating option, time option, because time range options now is not, before we were basically determining the Yep. Should we do that now or should we focus on like let's just here. Or what is it, time option? So I'm gonna default to use event time. Enable planning and custom. Enable time range option state. Yeah. This is better, I think. It's more clear in terms of the UI, so let's, well, actually, you know what? If we change this, it's gonna change the, this start time first before we commit this. How am I gonna test this? Well, this time option field is basically just like dating option, right? Time option is a time option type. Which in goes where? Are we actually creating the pod? Oops. Create pod, input 5. Here, time range options. So, oh no, here. Time option. And then let's just make sure that it's what we expect. So expect, oops, what am I doing? Let's scale this. All right, so here we are. Okay. So we added the time option. We added a test. I think the test should pass, hopefully. Let's just see what happens. Enable planning. Why is this test? Yeah, we're almost done. Once we have this, we just have to refactor the pod card and feature. I have a I was trying to think of like these files it touched. Anyways, another cool thing, I'm familiar with things like Mastodon or PeerTube or any of these like Web 3.0 apps. They use this thing called Activity Pub. Well, I'm waiting for the test to pass. But basically, are running, if you like use Peapods, lose your network and all the messages and the events and like everything that you built as you were running on Peapods. Like this is basically the future of the internet, is this like federalized Twitter. Because then, oh, you should just run on the server that like aligns with your views. And if you don't like it, you just move to a different server. Like at the end of the day, we just need to give users in to these like monolithic databases work moving forward. So we're going to support this Activity Pub protocol and yeah, federate the backend. I think it's that last 20% on Peapods that we're going to need. Oh, here we go. Input is invalid value. Did you mean dating option or time range? Oh, create pod input. That's my bad. I was really excited about it though. I was null by default. Okay, I think that's good. Let's try that again. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking so long. I think. Yeah. So we want to get as close, better performance, but trade-offs. Yeah. So if you look here, social.peapods.com. We already have a Mastodon server that we're running here. The Peapods messages and like more like which is really cool. So it's going to be like, you know, sort of like a signal. And I've been watching it for a while and I'm very impressed with the developer team and the open source community. So yeah, I've been thinking long and hard about how we're going to decentralize, and I think Activity Pub's the way to go. We'll see. Investigating how to decentralize out of their regulators. Because it's just so obvious. Like Mastodon is 99% the feature set of Twitter. And it's just open source using Activity Pub. So if they wanted to, they could just build an adapter so that all your tweets just automatically are federated. The original vision of the web kind of got trapped by the ad model. And I was thinking about this. I'm just like musing as, hold on. Expected enable planning and got undefined. Oh, so we saw this the other day. Like, why did the web fall down this like rabbit hole? And I think the root cause, it wasn't like greed or evilness or anything, because like a lot of the early internet people were very, you know, starry-eyed and pay up or enter your credit card or your bank account to get paid US dollars to use the attention economy. All you have to do is like actually use it with your eyeballs and your attention. So companies, because they couldn't like, the ad-based business model ended up being just extremely pernicious and user hostile, right? But they didn't, no one could have envisioned that from the beginning when they were just putting up like, and a bunch of other people doing stuff like this. Like one that's really interesting to me. What was it called again? Permission.io. Like this company to me is the future, right? Where companies can pay you for your data, which is genius. And they have these like ask tokens, which are basically sort of similar to BAT tokens, but they're building like a developer platform. People have to build it. Okay. Why are these tests taking so long? This is like a problem. This is a bottleneck now. I gotta fix this later. But I think we should be good now. Because like we're pretty actually darn close to open beta, or at least a private beta. But I just gotta like close out some small stuff, you know. It's essentially feature complete. All right, let me see. I'm on 5. All pod props. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? Let's look at the API. Mutations, pod, create pod. Here, all pod props. Yeah, this should be. Here's the pod. State audience max size dating option. Oh, why am I doing this? I wonder why I'm splitting. It must be interesting. time option and pass that into create. And then, so, okay. Docker isn't even really taking a lot of CPU. Oh, what's up, Joe? Just doing some. Okay, I really think this time it's going to work. I know I said that last time, but actually I can probably do that concurrently. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, this is obviously an MVP. I gotta really like rethink the whole UX of this, right? Like this is functional and this will work, but question marks under each of these fields to explain what this means. But I mean, maybe this whole form itself can be redesigned and rethought out. But you know, you don't want to like try to get it perfect the first time. You just want to like launch something that works and then get feedback from users and iterate. So, but that's the point. I'm trying to keep this whole app like useful. And then I have a whole bunch of crazy ideas. Really bothering me. It was like, just do this. Actually, I'll probably be happy. Just handling the deletion. Oh, I think got it. All right, let me just do one more pass here, which has 3 time option. Yeah, this makes sense. This is a pretty cool feature. I was thinking about it the other day. Like this is actually, so many times I'm on Messenger trying to meet up with people or like get a Zoom hangout going or something. And if it's more than 2 people, it's actually pretty, like, there's a lot of back and forth. Like, oh, I'm free. Oh, I'm free Friday. This just takes all the guesswork out of it. And in the future, we can even have it auto-fill. You can just have like a sync outlook or delete the ones you don't want to. Huh. So let's restart Docker because this is like, I usually like, to be honest, a lot of painful. Okay, it's did. What? What the heck is going on? Oh, it's because I updated my OS today, I think. That's what's going on. Yeah, I probably have to re-accept the license or something. The Xcode license. I mean, like this. Where'd my music go? Oh my gosh. What the hell? I've never seen this before. 400 like. Am I crazy? What's this one? 800 likes. RM Xcode select. I had to reinstall Xcode tools for some weird reason. Yeah, you know, I bet this is because I upgraded my Catalina today. Let's just do it. Screw it. What do we have to lose, huh? 824 upvotes. Can't be wrong. Xcode select. Get developer tools or cancel. I guess I have to install this. Night. All right, Docker at least restarted. So I should be able to do this. This again. Oops. Maybe maybe that yarn install fixed it. I have to say though, I'm like pretty disappointed in Apple past couple of years. The quality of the software has like taken a pretty significant like it dropped quite a bit. Like I saw this crazy vulnerability last, I think 2 weeks ago with like the login with Apple implementation. Apparently they weren't actually following like the OAuth 2.0 spec exactly. And there was just crazy vulnerability. It just like blew my mind. I'm like, that's literally not a good sign. If like something that's fundamental to the platform is not rock freaking solid. Like you never ever would hear like login with Google having a bug did not work. Install requested for command line tools. What? Oh, just keep going. So let's go. So now we have to refactor the stuff we were about to commit a little bit. So let's do that now. This. What's it? Where was get time option being called? I guess just in here, huh? So let's go in here. Okay, so now it's just my pod.time option. Just delete that. That was easy. Oh, I think now we also have to, yeah, reload. I think now we also have to update the on time option changed on time. Let me close all these things. Oh, but you know what? This is gonna have a bunch of flow errors now because the time option. Ay. Crap. You see what I'm saying? The flow types were not generated. Alright, whatever. Let's deal with that later. One thing at a time. So where is it here? On time option changed. Now who called? What does this do? Start time, end times. Boom. 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 Time option. If it's use event time, then we just set it to null. So if time update pod params. Where are we doing that mapping? Where is that happening? Here. So create pod. So basically just create an update, right? So time option is now going to be time option equals use event time is gonna be null. No. If this is true, see? Time option, where's this coming from? Pod params.time option. Oh, okay. So here, this is also not params dot time option. I really just wish I would use TypeScript for this. Okay, see. Oh, I have a typo. I have a stray. What the heck? I don't understand why this is not. Huh? Where did I have a? All right, let's just look at this here. It's right. Oh, I discard that. That's my bad. All right, we need this one. Copy that, and also paste it here in the input. Backend running? Yep, backend's running. Okay, so I should be able to now change the time option to enable planning, as I sent. So let's check my variables. Time options enable planning. Good. And then when I load it, I get not current user. I get where's the preview? See, I should probably just switch to Firefox. This is so annoying to have to. Firefox defaults to everything being expanded, which is so smart. I don't know why Chrome doesn't do the same thing. Oh yeah, okay. So let's go to state, start time, dating option, end time. Oh, I have to now also update the front end. So let's go to the front. Well, actually, I think I can just update it in fragments, right? All pod props, boom, here. So now I'm going to time option. This way, interesting. I wonder why I'm not querying, why I'm not using all pod props in here. Oh, maybe because I have a client-side directive? That's weird. Option is generate the public user props. Get pod by ID. Whatever. So now on the front end, you actually have to do this. Well, let's do it in a different. Let's do it in a different shell. You have to go into the front query whitelisting, but someone made a point on Twitter today that like using whitelist and blacklist, we should stop doing that as a developer community. We should just call it like allow list and so use that in the audience implementation. I have a whitelist and blacklist and see if that worked. Refresh. See, when I generated the backend queries, the hashes, the backend automatically updated. So now it knows, okay, we should be able to query this field. So let's see if it did. This should be selected. Why is this not selected? Let's see. We almost have it. I'll add this. Add this. Add this. Add this. Oh. Yeah, it's because I wanted to see if I change the time on. Okay, so we can comment this out. I'll reset this. So, yeah, go ahead. Understand why when we load the form the first time, where is the pod form? This is it? Pod form. Yeah, so why is it, new params, my pod time option, default pod params. Where's that? Oh, I already did that. Default pod params. Set pod params. Who calls this? So, where is my little selector? Radio grid here. Status, dating options. Here, time option. So let's make sure this is actually the right value. It should be. Time option. Interesting. Why is it undefined? We're pulling it off the pod params. And pod params are coming from the hooks. So, Interesting. Interesting. So maybe I do need to modify the get pod by ID. Wait, no. It's coming. Get user by ID. It's not returning it. Oh yeah, see, my pod. That's why. Dating option. Time range option. Okay. So my pod. Get event by ID. So interesting. Oh my gosh. Get event by ID. Get event by ID result. So this should return my pod for the event, which is pod. But oh, it just returns ID. Okay. That explains it. Not returning the data. Boom. And 3, 2, 1. Bam. Now we can reload. I think now it should work. So I think this looks good to me now. Well, not good, but it'll work. We should refactor it. So now if I come into edit, boom, enable planning. Great. Okay, great. So now we can say, if that was an accident, I'm like, oh wait, no, I didn't. Oh, and re-enable planning. Oh, thank goodness, and then save it. So that's why we had to decouple it and add a new field. We could not use. It could not be an implicit field. Same thing with custom, right? See the okay, good. The date's still there. Okay, everything's working. Let's commit it. That was a little detour I didn't expect to have to do. Oh my god, it's already 10 o'clock. We're not going to get to the so Let's go to here. We have to do this here. Add time selector. Component to pod form. Yep, that's right. That bug anymore. So maybe, why is that? I thought if I commented that out, I would see a bug. By the way, did this ever finish? No, my goodness. Okay, let's leave the pod. So it should just, because we're the only one in the pod, it will delete. Gonzo. Okay, and let's try the flow here. Let's come in and say create, and we're attending. Only show my followers, enable plan, and hit save. Aha, see, day.js is add to calendar even being invoked. A bug in the library, if you ask me. UTC is not a function. Because this is coming from, try this. Let's try in a library. Like, I hope I can just break. Yeah, it seems hell. Bugger did not get triggered. Time zone support fixed. Next session, to reinstall. You know you're starting to get tired when you have typos. That's when you should quit while you're ahead. But not commit it. Just leave it at the state like this, so I know, like fully clean. You know what I mean? You always want to leave it like this. And you have to like click around and like, what the heck was I doing? You know? It just saves time. All right, so let me leave my to-do comment because it's 10 o'clock. All right, guys, do we still have people? Oh yeah, we got three watchers still. Wow, great. Oh no, module not found. Is this like a, huh? Could this be a bug in Babel? Like, this should definitely exist. Oh my god, why is this? Alright, well, this is annoying because I'm not actually gonna be able to push. Yeah, whatever. Array flow types. Alright, guys. That's a good enough stuff. We're gonna have to modify the so what I want to do is basis. They said it should be broken. This is optional. I was researching these like two services, Datadog and Thundra, to get some analytics on our backend. And this is optional, just improving the UX. There should be a fast follow. It's like event templates. Half of this stuff is optional. Oh, push till that work when everyone's in. You know, we gotta just get this out there. It's been long overdue. Yeah, so let me close some tabs here. Have a good week.